Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now. You have what is it? Abu Dhabi, Dubai, what is it? Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And then now you got Qatar.
Yes.
One championship going to Qatar in March. I might go. I think I'm gonna be there. So
How long is it?
fancy.
Like, how long would it take you to get from here to there?
It's close,
I have no
right?
idea.
Is it?
Yeah, because
I
I
have
was
no idea.
looking flights to Dubai, and it's like 6 hours.
Okay.
not
Yeah, in Dubai, it's not.
Yeah, and it's like
I
it's not
usually look at
expensive as
tickets
well.
when I go here.
Yeah.
In Dubai too. Yeah,
Nice.
But
It's like a cheap way.
on that card they're gonna have 4 titles, but the one title is the atom weight, but they're not atom weight, they're actually straw weight. But
Right.
it's the atom weight title fight. Stamp Fairtex versus Denice Zamboanga. This is interesting because Stamp Fairtex and Denice Zamboanga trained together for like 2 years,
Right.
right? And they became friends. But now they have to fight each other for the world title.
Where did
It's
she?
just
Where did she end
boring.
up going?
Who?
Zamboanga.
She went back to the Philippines. They're with some team in the Philippines.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like people say there's literally 1 girl, 2 million guys in the sport, and eventually you'll end up together.
Yeah,
Like we
it is
literally
what
train
it
every
is.
day, and
Yeah.
we are like trainings remind like one day we might fight. You know, even when I do game to Muay Thai circle in Thailand, like Thailand Muay Thai circle, like for the girls is small, so it's like you're gonna fight each other. You're gonna fight each other. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Put your emotions aside.
All right, so
Right.
So with them, you know what I mean? Like I've interviewed both of them like multiple times. I actually was there when they were together training at Fairtex.
Oh.
This was like I don't know, maybe 4 years ago. This was before the pandemic. But yeah, they actually are still like friends, you know what I mean? They're friendly. It must be a trip though, you know what I mean? Like someone that you're friends with and that you trained with for a long time. That now you have to fight them to rip
It's
their
a
heads off
job.
for the title.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it
It's a
is.
job.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But to be
Yeah,
honest
yeah,
with you,
either.
I always think in this scenario, one person is weaker than the other.
100%.
In that,
Yeah.
in
But,
that
like,
aspect.
Oh,
One
okay.
wants it more.
Yeah.
It's always like that. One wants
Yeah.
it more.
But
you always
it's
see
like
it. You always see it.
It's just like I think that being the case, it's easy to go there mentally.
Yeah.
Like, that
Yeah.
being the battle that is mentally
And
being
you
fought.
Yeah.
could be the less skilled person, but
Still
let's say your
win.
friend is weaker heading into the fight because
Right.
they have a soft spot for you
Yeah.
somewhere.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you see it sometimes when
But a champion
Real
is
fight.
being a champion,
Yeah,
no
champion.
matter what.
Yeah. There's no soft
So-
spots in there.
It's a job. It's a
fucking
it's a
cold.
job.
Yeah.
that's like when
Got nothing warm and fuzzy in here. No way.
when Usman and Burns fought, right? You didn't see that. You didn't see those guys. They were teammates for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then they had to fight each other for the UFC title, right? You didn't
Yeah.
see that in them. You saw straight up like both them wanted to win. Both them wanted to be the
Yeah.
champion.
But that's
It's a
like,
job.
I mean, they
It's a
both want to be
job.
champion.
Yeah.
I would
can
expect
see
that,
that
for
happening.
myself, and I would expect
Yeah.
that from the person that I would be up
Yeah.
against.
You know
Yeah.
what?
It's
If I was a fighter, I wouldn't want that. I would,
No?
I would
That's
expect
why you're
it
not a
You're-
fighter.
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
you're
I'm
too
not-
soft.
No, it's not about that. It's not about that.
Oh,
No. I would change something. I would want that for myself,
Okay.
but I would want my opponent to have it. I would want any advantage that I could have if I'm in a fight.
Like,
I
you
would
have to
want-
explain that.
If
How could
my
the
opponent is
opponent have-
injured heading into the fight,
Okay.
I would be happy.
Right.
you
Because-
would?
Yes. Because then it's easier for me to beat that ass.
Okay, you would all the. Okay, I'm different. I would
Yeah.
like.
I'm
the
gonna go
fight
do
that
my
makes me
job.
The
Yeah.
most excited
Yeah.
that I'm fighting on my own is like the ones that I know like they're gonna bring
Yeah,
it.
it's a challenge.
like I
right?
love
Yes.
it. Like those, I take them any day of the
Yeah.
week.
I've had
Versus
conversations.
like the one that you
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
smack over. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're about to beat up the mic. She's getting excited.
like this.
No, yeah,
Talk
but
about
I,
that.
no, but the thing is, I,
It's not.
I understand what you guys are saying about like you want the best version of your opponent to come at you and fight you. You want that for the battle, right?
Yeah.
But I've had conversations with fighters, high level, top 15 UFC fighters. They told me what I just told you. that they want their opponent to be injured. They want, because it's all about money at that point, and to get the title. You don't want to fight the best version, because why? Their best version is probably not as good as your best version, or their best version is better than your best version. But not always the best fighter wins.
Maybe we're just so
There's
beginning
so many
in our
circumstances,
careers,
right?
and-
Yeah, but
I
like,
mean, I think, yeah,
Yeah.
like
We-
she said, like
yeah.
we can't talk for
Yeah.
Yeah,
people
because
that
we,
has like their way.
yeah, they're getting
Yeah.
like
Right.
they're getting $250,000.
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
we fight
Yeah.
for fun right now. Like, we fight because we love fighting. Like, we
Yeah.
don't get paid.
Yeah.
Isn't
Exactly.
Yeah.
Come on,
They drive me something. Yeah, they
Yeah.
drive me something.
if we're not getting paid, then
Yeah.
I
we
wonder.
want to fight good.
I wonder
fights.
where that changes for a fighter.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
Yeah, I think it comes like experience, and yeah, once you start getting money and you like build a house and have a car and like get a family for a guy, you get
Yeah,
a
like,
kid,
you
you
have
know,
everything,
and
yeah.
woman at home, you know, so like, okay, let's like now I'm gonna pick and choose, you know,
Yeah.
because I have family home and
Yeah.
waiting as well. You know, Chun was out for 2 years. Like, he just made money by being out, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's not a perfect example for what I said, but I mean, like at one point you can allow yourself to
Yeah.
make that. Like, he was a champ too, but yeah.
Right. You can start getting
Yeah,
a little pickier with your
Yeah.
decision making on like what
Yeah,
kind
and
of fights you
responsibilities
want.
come to mature
Yeah.
and like, yeah, and you don't want
And-
to take just every fight you
Yeah.
have, you know.
and you want the easiest path to the title.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want the hardest path. You don't want the Charles Oliveira path.
Yo, I don't.
Those are like
Agree.
years
That's
knocked
a
off.
lot.
their
That
life.
depends on people, I think. That really
I
depends
think
on
it's
people.
more of
Yeah.
like where your like goals in life are, because
Yeah.
I think why I'm not agreeing on it is like I am not gonna lie that I'm obviously doing a lot of this for the possibility of making money.
Yes.
But I think what weighs more is that I chose this sport, which is so fucking hard and can put me in positions that are like extreme, and to not go there and not see myself actually handling those situations and actually like putting out something that can exceed my own expectations. I think that burns more for me than the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what I will say in 10
Yeah,
years.
that's what I'm
Right.
meaning.
But
We're
for
young
now,
fighters.
Yeah.
That is
we're-
way more important to me
Yeah.
because I know that right now, where I am in my life, I would do this. If I were to sleep on the street, I would do the same fucking thing that I
yeah,
do
but we
every
have so much
single
fire
day.
because we're like young fighters, like not like we're young and we're green and we're
Thank
like
you.
yeah, and like
Yeah.
but we're like we want that so bad, but like I think like at some point it might change, as like you said, in 10
Yeah.
years, and then yeah,
It's the evolution as a fighter.
Yeah.
And it's like
we mature.
I
Yeah.
I come from the picture perfect childhood. Like, I have a mom and dad that loves me. I have a brother that loves me. I'm like I been like we have money. Like there's never been anything like it's been protected.
Yeah.
Like nothing like traumatic has
Mhm.
happened in that way in my life. And that's why like for some
I'm
people it's
avoiding
like
drama.
no, but like for some people it's like the one question no, but like the one question my manager really doesn't understand, and I don't really understand myself. It's like, why the fuck do I want to fight? But I think the only really reason for me is that
It's to
fact
create
that
some
I
imbalance.
no, but like I just want to like exceed my expectations. Like I don't really believe, some parts of me really don't believe that I can do this, and another side of me really believes that I can be the champ.
Yeah.
So it's like I think like that battle is so excited, and
That's interesting.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so I think it has a lot to do where you're coming from.
Mhm.
So obviously, if you come from a place where you feel like you haven't had any like luxury, or I don't know how to like
Yeah. And
phrase it in a good way, but it really
values,
depends on where you're
yeah.
coming from, I think.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
And where you set your goals and what you want to achieve with that career that you're having.
Yeah.
So yes, I want to make money and I like obviously want to build my name, but that's more of like being able to pay the bills and all of these things that comes with
You have
living a life.
internal goals that you want to achieve for
But
yourself, right?
but I think I can honestly say that if I'm fucking 40 years old and still want to fight, I could live on the street and not have one single dollar. But going for that, like, it's a special feeling. Like you just want to like exceed your expectations.
Well, I think it all depends on like, you know, the level of satisfaction,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? Like how
feeling of
where are you gonna
success.
be
yeah,
satisfied?
exactly.
Like where to what point are you gonna be satisfied?
Yeah.
And then there's
No
some
idea.
fighters like they're satisfied just making to the UFC.
Right.
Exactly.
And they're like, I'm cool here. Like
Yeah.
if I stay here for a couple of years,
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
Yeah. And just like you said, if they have a family, right? If they have
Yeah.
responsibility,
Exactly.
they have people they want to take care of, and they don't want to be, you know, injured every few months, right? From like hard battles because they want to take care of their kids. You know, it just depends on
It really
Yeah,
on
and
the
it changes
scenario
you.
you're
So you
in.
know, you get a kid, it changes you. It's a
Yeah.
fact. Even if like if you look at like even the gym like example is like, let's say there's a people and there's coming couples, you know, like he gets a girlfriend outside, he becomes soft. It's a fact, you know, like people become soft, and it's like you see the
Stay
guys,
single.
yeah, yep. No, but yeah, and then like imagine you're UFC top 15, but you have a kid at home. You're like, no, soft to dinner, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
but I think it's like it cannot like it's some inevitable. How you say that? Yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
I get
English
the
word. Yeah, it's like yeah,
inevitable.
yeah.
Yeah.
But there's, you know, there's
But
so many
I
different
think-
circumstances.
Yeah,
surrounding
stories,
a
all
fighter.
around stories are different.
You know, like a damaged childhood or something like that. That's not really. I don't think it's as common as
I
people
don't
think.
fucking believe it.
Yeah, I don't think.
I'm
it's that
sorry, but I
damaged, you know what
don't.
mean, like, to be honest, like in fighting, there's so many kids like that just grew up in martial arts.
Yeah.
And that's their life, and they
Yeah.
just became a fighter. They're not even like
Mm.
because there are martial artists, because there's like fighters that are fighters, like they're like fighters, and like they didn't come up from martial arts, they come up from fighting, like
Mm,
Right.
they're
Street
about that,
fight
like yeah,
fighters,
they're
yeah.
about
Yeah,
that,
masculine.
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And you got
I
like
know a couple.
yeah, of course, there's a bunch of them, right?
Yeah.
And they're good too, you know.
Yeah.
And then you got like
For
Stephen
sure.
Thompson, like a Wonder Boy, Stephen Thompson,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Where he's just like a martial artist, but he will kick your head off.
Yeah, but
I mean-
but do you think he brings on the story on the table? You know, like when John Jones talks about his past, everyone's like, oh, that is like when I see him talking, like interviews and stuff, I'm like, that's interesting, you know,
Yeah.
because he has a story with him, and that's the character he is too. But I feel like sometimes like people who come like grow up like they're good, they're like picture perfect good, like Habib was so good,
Yeah.
but like there was like something missing.
There's
you
no
know?
substance to them, you
Yes,
know?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
There's
same
no-
like
there's
Rose,
no
you know, like
deepness.
Namayuna's like what she came with the story too, you know, and then people are like, oh, but you talk about Rose fighting, but then you're like, oh, do you know Rose's story? Like, wow, like this girl, you know?
Right.
Francis Ngannou has the craziest.
He
Yes,
does. He's got the
exactly.
craziest fucking
And then
story
he's
ever.
like people's champ. He's a champ, and he's a people's champ too, you know, because his
He's
story.
just, I explained it
crazy.
with like I don't know who I told, but I said like Francis Ngannou is what Batman should look like.
Yeah.
Like
For sure.
Yeah.
like Batman should look like
Yes.
him with the fucking thing
Oh,
and everything.
man.
Just walk
I
out.
just
Oh
imagine
my
I just
God.
imagine him in like a really crappy like Batman costume. like a kid's
Like pajamas.
He's like, I'm Batman.
He's wearing
Real
the-
convincing.
gets that.
Yeah, yeah.
You got the little
And he's walking like
pajama
this.
belt.
Velcro.
Yeah.
You got that Velcro cape. You know, it's all of them.
Exactly.
No, but yeah, there's some crazy stories out there. But yeah, so fighting. I don't know, like how. we
Yeah,
got
what
to
was the
fighting-
question?
Fighting friends.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
Sorry.
then
Stamp
we went into, like,
Fairtex.
no, we like really kind of like dug really deep into like the psychology of like fighting a friend, and then one friend.
Yeah,
is
word.
Like this,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of cool, and we're gonna see it play out. But man, I've been super impressed by Stamp Fairtex. I've seen her fight a few times live, and man, she's just getting better and better.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
only 26.
Yeah. She's pretty awesome.
She's been fighting for a while.
She's been
and-
fighting since she was like
and
4.
you really can
Wasn't
see
she?
growth in her fights.
Yeah.
Like I love that. Like you can see she gets better. Like
Yeah.
sometimes
Those are
people,
the most exciting.
yes,
fights,
exactly.
though.
But sometimes people like they get stuck or like you don't
Yeah.
see the improvement. Maybe like
Right.
2-3 fights, you're like, oh, like she got this better. But Stamp is like being
Progressively,
like, every time.
like each fight, yeah.
Yes, and then
you
you're
see
like,
more.
I'm literally like, I usually don't like believe in that, but like Stamp, I'm like always like, oh, I want to see now. Like,
Yeah,
where's
you're
she
like
at now,
rooting
you know?
for her now,
Yeah, you're
right?
like, oh my god, like I want to see where she's at now.
I
you know?
wouldn't bet against her. I wouldn't bet against Stamp.
No.
right now. Against whoever she's fighting now, I wouldn't bet against her. She
Yeah.
beat Ham, knocked her out. Like,
Yeah, and this other girl, apparently her losses are to
to Ham.
yeah.
But I mean,
So.
man, math.
That's the MMA math
Mhm.
that makes sense to me.
Math.
Yeah, but like I think it was like when
Monster?
Stamp lost to this Ukrainian girl, and then next time she came back, she lost by submission to the Ukrainian girl. And then next time she came back, she submitted her like first round with the
Right.
submission. The girl had like, I think the girl was like, I'm the armbar, whatever, like armbar. How you say it?
Queen?
Yeah, armbar queen. And then
Armbar,
yeah.
whatever.
I think
All the girls call themselves
Yeah.
queen. I'm so tired of all these
If I'm not
queens everywhere.
wrong-
What about princess?
Yeah, armbar princess. How about that? Okay. And then she got her with an armbar. Is that what
Yeah, I
happened?
think so.
That's
Yeah. So like
crazy.
you can see, the improvement, and like
Yeah.
I think the last fight too, like after Angela Lee, she came back and then she beat it. The other girl is
She
constant
almost beat
improvement.
Angela Lee too.
Yes.
Like
Insane.
Angela Lee was
Comes-
hurt bad,
Yes.
and I was cheering for
Yes.
Stamp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like Stamp is she's like being around her, like interviewing her and stuff. She's really like what she is on TV. She's kind
That's
of like in a good
cool.
mood all the
Yeah.
time. She's chilled out, always
Yeah.
down for the cameras, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess she's like, I have one friend that trains her. Like she's her jiu-jitsu coach, and she told me that she's like super easy to teach. Like everything you say to her, she does. Like
Yeah.
she just like takes things like you mention something. Okay, she puts it on the ground and she makes it.
Mhm.
Like it's like she just absorbs the information. Yeah, that's what the coaches have told about her.
Yeah, she's
like
it's gonna be
super
interesting.
coachable.
I see Stamp winning this fight. I think she
Yeah.
beats Denise.
I think she
yeah,
will
I
be
think she
one
dominates
of
this
the
fight.
greatest, for the one at least.
I think
Yeah.
she'd probably become, I think she passes Angela Lee.
Yeah.
I think she passes Angela Lee.
Yeah,
I think the
agree.
legacy wise,
And then
too.
Angela
Yeah.
Lee's never gonna come back unless she talks to you. And you
Everyone should
convince her,
talk to me.
convince her to come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you know about the whole story about her sister and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad.
It is sad.
I was in Singapore when she retired in the cage.
Oh.
That was
Oh,
like
it was sad. You know why it was so sad? Is because her husband was holding their baby K-side, but you can't hear it when you're watching it on TV. But if you're there, you could hear it. Holding the baby is screaming for her mom while
Oh
she's retired,
my
like holding the belt on. her
Right.
head.
Right.
And I'm just like, what?
Oh,
Oh.
Like, this is so sad.
goosebumps.
Yeah.
Because it's due to what happened to the sister. and stuff,
Right.
Yeah.
I was just like, man. And then she revealed that she tried to kill herself too. That's so
Yeah.
sad too, man. Man, I got a daughter, and I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah.
You guys are
Tough
like
one.
that thing that you
sorry,
guys
man.
talked about earlier today about like
Spaghetti.
guys have like different rooms and
Spaghetti.
spaghetti. It's just like, oh.